Yo, what's happening? So I've tried to start this video so many times, I don't even want to look through my camera roll. It's been a while. Hair is all over the shop today, but I won't. Just thought it's time to do a video. I said I would do it, so I'm gonna do it. Gonna recap basically, done about 10 days worth now of my figure drawing, so I'm looking forward to showing you guys that. I'm gonna keep at it when I've got time. I've got uni starting up in the next couple of weeks, so that's gonna be full on. Decided not really to play football this year. I'm just gonna concentrate on uni and yeah, getting fit, doing my running, of which I've set myself a goal. Hopefully I'm gonna do 10K in the next 8 weeks, but we will see. So I'm following a training plan. Anyway, it's time to get back into it, show you what I've done and what I've been working on. So without further ado, I'll show you the 10 days worth of learning to figure draw. I've still got a long way. I set out a goal at the start of the year that I want to learn to figure draw because I always have wanted to do that. I find it so unique and just so peaceful. But yeah, I'll show you my 10 days worth so far. I'm not doing it like a drawing a day or anything. I'm just giving myself like set days that when I have time I can really knuckle down and learn a bit more. But yeah, I've done 10 days worth, so I'll show you that and I hope you guys enjoy. And I'll talk about the methods and stuff, so I'll switch through to an overhead view and you can have a look at all the drawings. Alright, so I'm still trying to get used to this. This feels so weird having an overhead view, but yeah, I'm so stoked with this little thing that I got from Daiso. It's a little Japanese like kind of store. It's really cool. Check it out. We will get into it. So day one. So day one, this was all about learning gestures and just like really trying to curve the lines and go with the flow. So decided I would do a couple of pages, but yeah, it was quite fun. Just learning kind of how the body moves and all that and links together. That was day one, and I did a few more. This was also day one as well. So just trying to do it from my imagination on some, and then some I got some Pinterest references that I just kind of tried to copy the flow of. But yeah, this was really good. This was like really key, I guess, to building the foundation, I reckon. This one's cool. This one's like him falling. So then we move on to day number 2 after that, which is this side. This was still day 1. But day number 2 was really interesting, splitting basically the torso up into the beam, which was kind of really cool and really helps you kind of understand the rib cage and the pelvis, and like kind of when you're looking at a reference or somebody, you can really see like how everything's positioned and how you can just really simplify it, to be honest. So that was quite cool. And then I did a little bit of like dashed arrows just to show the rotation of the body. But yeah, I really enjoyed that day. That was so much fun. It was weird but fun. And then it continues on to this. I did a bit of like some more gesture drawings alongside it, just to kind of reference basically how to see it. I found this really useful, quite a good idea actually. If you draw like the gesture and then you go into doing the beam straight after, and you kind of just replicate the flow and the way the body moves with those two parts. Yeah, super cool. So I highly recommend. You can get like loads of videos on YouTube of the beam. And yeah, so then this one was cool actually. This was just going back to fundamentals really, and this was just basic shapes and how you can make everything 3D and kind of understand that sometimes all you actually need is just some basic shapes. So this was yeah, day 3. It's kind of like visual links, kind of just to get the proportions in and understand where everything lines up. So like the tailbone and all that kind of stuff, and the elbows. But yeah, and the shoulder blades, that was quite a cool one. So it's just basically understanding basic anatomy and where things should be. I think they call them anchors from memory. Yeah, so bit of day 3. And then this was fun as I enjoyed this one a lot. This was an ugly one though. I didn't like this, but the rest of it, once I got the hang of it, super flowy, loved it. Yeah, this was basically the Robo Bean. So this is like taking the bean and like kind of making it a bit more like, I guess, mannequinization. This was more just doing the Robo Beam but understanding the 3D elements of it. So like, yeah, understanding the rib cage and then the pelvis, and then really simplifying it into 3D boxes and perspective. This one was a really fun one because it kind of just showed the twisting motion. I really want to include that kind of stuff in my future work if I can. It's way more fluent. It's just so cool to look at. Yeah. Along the way too, like I kind of figured out how to like kind of like do heads. It was really weird. Like I draw portraits, but like just I've never been able to draw like on a mannequin like a head. Very simple, but yeah. See, like here. But yeah, this was a bit further. So this was like mannequinization. And then we're up to day 5, I believe. I stopped dating them after this. That's a bit stupid, isn't it? Anyway, sneak peek of the future one. But I think this was day 5. So this was more mannequinization. This was more just kind of looking at references and trying to replicate and just simple shapes and forms, bringing that 3D element. And also kind of a bit of perspective, I guess. This was actually probably the hardest thing I did, to be perfectly honest. I actually kind of really struggled with this, surprisingly, as you can tell. But I quite liked how this one turned out a little bit. The only thing that would be way better is the proportions, but hey, it's the start and I'm not going to get caught up in all of that. I don't really mind how it looks as long as it's just getting pencil and paper and learning. Yeah, long way to go. But yeah, that was day 5. So day 5 kind of continued. It's a bit more of mannequinization, to be honest. It's amazing what literally 1 day difference can do for you, I'm telling you. But yeah, this was probably looking at more references and more Pinterest, and then like kind of just breaking things down and understanding them a bit more. So that was day 6. Not a lot to say about that because it continued on from day 5. And then we move on to day 7. This was a weird one. Center one, weird. Rest of it I really liked. This was also cool. I kind of liked this one. Really broke down the rib cage and then where the shoulders go. See, like this, I found this really cool. I didn't think I would find this alongside, but it's kind of a mannequinization of the head, and I did enjoy that, surprisingly. But yeah, basic shapes, got some of these from Pinterest as references. It's kind of tying everything I learned: mannequinization, gestures, simple shapes, anatomy, and yeah, just trying to include a bit more anatomy in this, I believe, and just like forms and structures. Yeah, this turned out really cool. I got this reference from Pinterest and I just kind of sat there and drew it from it. What do other artists use? Like, if you're an artist, can you please let me know what other platforms you use for references? Because all I use is Pinterest and it's insane, but it would be good to know if there's others out there. But yeah, this was really fun. So that's day 7. Day 8, here we go. This was cool. I really like this. Just kind of breaking up like sections. I kind of did this across the 2 pages, and the layout was a bit more like symmetrical on this. I quite enjoyed it. I don't even think I intended to do that, which is the funny part. But yeah, there's just a bit of mannequinization on the heads, and yeah, just I think I'm trying to pull away from like heads just having to be so realistic in general. But yeah, really enjoyed this one. This was really cool. Kind of broke up a bit more anatomy for me. There is definitely better things that I could do. References were all from Pinterest, and most of these I drew this and tried to include a bit of anatomy, but I think I went a bit too far. I think next up is definitely anatomy for me. That I'm going to block out the next page because this is day 9 now. So this was kind of, yeah, tying everything together with mannequinization again and just doing simple drawings. I think I did these more from my head. Some of them were references, like I believe this was a reference. Yeah, a cool way of doing the foot. I kind of highlighted just in here the rib cage and the pelvis, because it's crazy to think that that is basically just as simple as it gets. Once you locate the ribs and the pelvis, the rest just kind of follows. So yeah, that was day 9. Enjoyed that. I'm getting a bit curvy with it on this one. Definitely improvements that can be made, but not bad for day 9, I guess. And then this was day 10. So day 10 was fun. I enjoyed this a lot, but it was drawing from references again on Pinterest. I'm really impressed with this page. I kind of didn't want to add any more to it because I didn't want to stuff it up anymore. But yeah, I'll show you now. So this was day 10. Absolutely loved it. A bit more anatomy, a bit more understanding of just where things are on the body and different shapes and muscles, I guess, as well. Did just a rotation really of a male over here and then a rotation of the female. So yeah, really enjoyed that. And if you look closely too, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, it's me marking out the rib cage and then just the pelvis area. But that's how simple it is, guys. It's like the beam method, I tell you. It's awesome. And it's amazing what it can do. So yeah, that's 10 days worth, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, I'm keen to get on to day 11 when I've got some more time. I thought today would just be, yeah, showing you guys the progress, because I do get comments as well. And I know I got one recently. Shout out to you and thank you so much for commenting. Just how have I gone from like day 1 to day 10 like that? Basically, I'm not gonna lie, I've drawn before and I've enjoyed drawing. I've drawn since I was like probably 15, maybe younger. But it's just, for me, it's learning something new. I've never figure drawn before. So I guess once I've got the basic concepts down, I kind of start to understand it maybe a bit quicker. But I think drawing it from my imagination would be a complete different story. Drawing it from references I can do. So I need to focus on that more. And I think also I need to focus on just a bit more anatomy, because this is kind of the first base that I've actually done where it makes sense. But that was 10 days worth. And yeah, follow along. I'll try to talk a bit more. I guess the next check-in will be, yeah, maybe day 20. But I'll let you guys know.